everyone, this is Aishwarya once again and welcome on board. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic. I know a lot of you students are preparing for their applications abroad. They are planning to go to either US, UK, Canada, Australia and your dream destination next year, which is in fall 2021. And all the colleges have their deadlines if you want to get to fall 2021, which is next year in August if you want to fly. Majority of the college deadlines is in November, December, Jan, Feb. So that's the season wherein they have their deadlines. So today's video is very important, wherein I'm going to talk about all about study abroad applications. What all things you need to keep in mind, what are the documents required, and where you would be stuck, what are the things that should be your priority right now, and some tips and tricks also that you can actually use to enhance your study abroad applications. Okay, so let's begin. First and the most important thing is, if you are planning to apply for colleges somewhere around, for example, colleges will have their deadlines on say November 26, December 1, December 3, depends on university to university as well as country also. So US usually have deadlines a little earlier. Like a lot of good colleges, I know that they have had already their round 1 deadlines in September, October, and they will have their round 2 deadlines in November, December also. But if I talk about Canada, UK, their deadlines are a little late. They start somewhere in end of November, December, Jan. That's the time when, they have their round 1 deadlines also. So most important thing that you need to keep in mind is there are few documents that every university requires. Okay, that's standard. Most important thing is your resume. So your resume has to be up to date. Okay, I have seen a lot of resumes while I was taking mentorship sessions. So it is not in a very concise, crisp and clear format. So, universities have a specific format that you have to follow for resumes. So make sure that, your resume is into that format. It is like, one look, it has to be a one pager only. Okay. And if one look, it should be like, okay, I get everything. So there is a specific format also. For people who are in the course, on your dashboard, there are some resume guidelines and resume samples. So you can check that out as well. Okay. Next important thing is what they ask for is your transcripts. Okay. Now transcripts, a lot of people ask me that, I am right now in, right now in 3rd year. I'm currently in 3rd year and next year in August, I will be flying. So somewhere around March, April is going to be my graduation. So I still have not got the final year results. So what I should be doing with the transcripts. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to take the transcripts till your last year. Okay, so the colleges will have those transcripts till last year. For people who are already graduated, you will get all the transcripts. Now, some people also ask me, what is a transcript? Transcript is nothing but a version of your report card, a result from your university that is accepted abroad. So all you have to do is you have to go to the college, they make you fill up a form. You have to fill that form up and you have to apply for transcripts. Ideally, it takes about 2 weeks to 3 weeks to get it there. But I have heard a lot of colleges in India, take months because it goes to the university and the process is a lot. So the first thing that you have to do is, whether you are planning or not planning, still dicey, confused, get your transcripts ready. Because transcripts are something that is dependent to, with somebody else, like it's external. Okay, you can't get transcripts or arrange for transcripts, your college has to do. So very, very important thing, just reach out to your college, ask them for a transcript. I still remember it cost around 1,000 rupees, somewhere around 1,000 rupees for first copy and 100 or 150 for multiple copies. So take at least 8 to 10 copies of your transcripts. If you are not using it right now, later on in future, it would be required, because your normal report cards that are there in India, that will not be used anytime if you're going to US, UK, Canada or abroad. Okay, so you need transcripts as a proof of your degree. Okay, so if you are in in currently 3rd year, so till 2nd year you can take transcripts, and later on it should not be a problem. Once you get into the college and once you graduate, so you can get it couriered and things like that. So that should not be a problem. Third important thing is, a lot of colleges ask for some specific essays. Okay, essays as in, why do you want to join so and so college, what are your so and so things, some personality questions or some questions related to college course. Okay, so those answers have to be written, and most of the times they have a word limit, like 500 words, 600 words. Don't go overboard thinking that, I can write more and things like that. When it is written, it's written for a reason. Okay, so please try to understand that you have to stick to those word limits which is given. Okay, some colleges, ideally all the colleges will ask you for statement of purpose. which is a personality essay about yourself. Why do you want to go to a particular college for a particular course? Okay, so that is something that you have to mention in 1000 to 1200 words. It also has to be structured. In your dashboard, there are a lot of videos and sample statement of purposes that you can refer, and those sample statement of purposes are for all different fields. Like, if you want to get into engineering or management and MBA, all those are there on your dashboard. Go to Prep Zone, and there is a study abroad application document section wherein you will find all of these statement of purpose, letter of recommendation, samples to create yours. Okay, so that is one thing. And some colleges might ask you for essays, before this whatever I was talking about. Okay, next important thing, letter of recommendation. Look for people who are going to give you letter of recommendation. Ideally, universities ask for majority of 3 and minimum of 1 or 2. Okay, so it ranges. So just ensure that you have 3 people, just to be on the safer side, who are going to willing to write a letter of recommendation for you. Ideally, 1 professional and 2 academic is okay. 1 professional as in any internship or any place wherein you were working or things like that. 1 professional and 2 academic from your faculty. If you're still in college or if you will just be graduating, okay, then all 3 academic is also fine. That is not an issue. But if you have had some amount of work experience, then 1 professional is always recommended. Okay. Next important thing that you need to keep in mind is along with the letter of recommendation. So that is also, you have to look for people who are going to write it for you. Okay. So that also you need to take in mind. Next is your GRE or GMAT and TOEFL or IELTS score. Okay. Now, whatever you have given or you want to give, all of these scores are also required to just fill it up. So what happens is, you create an account for a particular university. They ask you to fill your normal details, your passport and things like that, your information, address and things like that. And then they ask you to upload these documents. Your resume, your statement of purpose, your letter of recommendations, your GRE, GMAT scorecards, your TOEFL scorecards, and your transcripts. Okay, these are the things that are asked. So unless and until you upload everything, like you can save the application, so it is not considered. Okay. Now, one thing that you can do is, for example, you are applying to a university that has an deadline of, say, today is October. Okay, so that has a deadline of, say, November 1. Okay, and you have still not given your GRE, or your GRE or TOEFL is planned somewhere around October 25th, or maybe say November 5 or November 10. What you can do is, you can get in touch with the university, tell them that I've started my applications, but my GRE and GMAT or your TOEFL, whatever is pending, is planned on so and so date. So I just wanted to let you know that if you could consider this. Okay, so that is always an option. I am not guaranteeing that the university will say, okay, go ahead, we'll wait for you. But most of the cases, they consider this. Okay, it's all about reaching out to them. Okay, so that is also one thing which you can consider. To people who are still confused that should I be giving GRE GMAT now, बहुत late हो गया है, अभी कैसे जाएंगे, deadlines आ गई and things like that. You still stand a chance. US, UK, Canada, their round 2 deadlines extend till, I've already told in another video, till Jan, Feb, March. Also, so till round 2 you are good to go. You can apply. All you need to have is very firm mind that okay, I want to prepare and I want to start my applications. Okay, please pay attention to all the documents that I've told you and start collecting them in advance. Usually the transcripts, writing your applications and things like that. Don't wait for the last day that 1 week before the deadline I am looking for all of those things, because 70% of your admit decision depends on your applications and only 30% depends on your scores. Yes, that doesn't mean that you should be getting a low score and things like that. What I'm trying to say is, once you have given the exam, the weightage is on applications, and you need to ensure that you have a very strong application if you want to get an admit. Okay, so this is Aishwarya signing off. If you want to get in touch with me, drop an email on catkingsstudyabroad@gmail.com. And I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, all the very best for your exams. Stay safe and take care. Bye-bye.